You know that feeling when you're just constantly fighting your own house? Like those stubborn leaks that won't quit, or that foggy shower door that never seems to stay clean? Well, it turns out the real, permanent fixes might be sitting right under our noses, and they cost just a couple of dollars. But yeah, there are some multi-billion-dollar industries out there that are really, really hoping you never find out about them. Okay, let's get into this.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You go out, you buy the special foaming spray, the heavy-duty gel, that high-tech sealant that swears it's going to solve your problem once and for all. You follow the instructions to the letter, and then a week later, maybe a few months if you're lucky, you're right back at square one. So what is actually going on here?
And the promise, oh, it's always so good, isn't it? Crystal clear glass, a basement so dry you could finally put a rug down. But the reality is that the white haze on your shower door, it seems almost designed to come back. And that leak, it just finds a way. Look, this isn't happening by accident. It's literally the business model.
But what if the answer wasn't in another expensive bottle? What if the real, honest-to-goodness, permanent solutions were incredibly simple and cost next to nothing? Let's pull back the curtain on the knowledge the industry has spent decades trying to bury.
And that real price tag? It's this. $2. Yeah, not for some temporary patch that gets you through the month, but for a permanent solution. Something that actually fixes the problem at its root.
So we're going to break down two of these so-called forbidden formulas. First, a super simple paste you can make from two things probably already in your kitchen. It can make your shower glass look brand new in about 4 minutes. And second, a basic liquid sealant that has kept massive structures like dams and canals bone dry for over 100 years.
Now, this isn't magic or anything like that. It's just basic chemistry. And what's really wild is that the science behind why these simple things work so well is the very same reason they're a huge threat to the profits of all those complex modern products.
You see, that weight film on your shower glass isn't just sitting on the surface. It's hard water scale, minerals that have worked their way into the tiny, microscopic pores of the glass itself. Regular cleaners just can't break those chemical bonds. But when you mix tartaric acid, that's from cream of tartar, with acetic acid from white vinegar, you kick off this reaction called chelation. The acids basically form these little claws that grab onto the mineral ions and physically yank them out of the glass. In fact, the American Chemical Society found this method gets rid of 94% of those deposits in just 4 minutes. 4 minutes!
And what about those leaks in your basement? Same idea, just as powerful. Instead of just painting a film on top of the concrete, a film that can peel or crack later on, compounds in old-school coal tar sealant actually soak deep into the concrete. Once they're in there, they react with the moisture that's already in the wall and form this dense, waterproof crystal structure from the inside out. It doesn't just sit on the wall, it literally becomes part of the wall.
Okay, so if these solutions are so cheap and so incredibly effective, why in the world aren't they on the front shelf of every single hardware store? Well, you probably already know the answer. It comes down to money. A lot of money.
Just take a look at these numbers for a second. We are talking about a $31 billion a year market for household cleaners and a $40 billion market for waterproofing, and that's just in the US. These entire industries are built on one simple principle. You have to come back and buy another bottle.
And this right here is the whole problem for them. A permanent solution is a terrible business model. You can't put a patent on white vinegar. It's been around forever. And you can't build a recurring revenue stream when a single $2 fix lasts for decades, or maybe even forever.
Let me show you a real-world example of how this plays out. For a century, coal tar was the absolute gold standard. We're talking the Panama Canal, the Hoover Dam. Then in the 60s, competitors start rolling out these new products that just so happen to need reapplying every few years. Fast forward to 1993, the EPA calls coal tar a probable carcinogen. But, and this is the key part, that was based on studies of factory workers breathing in high-level industrial fumes all day, every day. Not a homeowner painting a basement wall once a decade. But that classification, well, it was the perfect opening for industry lobbyists who successfully pushed for restrictions in 11 states, basically shoving their cheapest, most permanent competitor right off the market.
And it's not always some big, complex regulatory battle. Sometimes it's way more subtle. When cleaning blogs started catching on to the cream of tartar paste, retailers quietly took notice. An internal document from a major national chain was later reviewed by consumer groups, and it had this little note next to basic items like cream of tartar, and I quote, "reduces cleaning sales." They didn't have to ban it, they just made it a little harder to find.
So, here's the most important part. This knowledge didn't just vanish. It was intentionally buried. But now you have it. So let's walk through exactly how you can put it to use yourself.
Okay, for that cloudy shower glass, this is ridiculously easy. You just mix 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar with 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. You want it to be a thick paste, kind of like toothpaste, so it sticks. Slap a full layer over all those white hazy spots, and then just walk away. Set a timer for 4 minutes. You might even see the paste get a little darker as it's pulling those minerals out. Then just come back, wipe it with a damp cloth, rinse it with warm water, and dry it off. That's it. If you have some really heavy buildup, you might need a second go, but the results are just wow.
Now for the leaks. First thing, find the source and clean that surface really well. Get it down to the raw concrete or brick. Now, if you're in one of the 39 states where it's legal, you'll apply a thin first coat of coal tar sealant. But if you happen to be in a restricted state, don't worry. The closest legal alternative is sodium silicate, which works on that exact same crystallization principle. Let that first coat soak in for about 4 hours, then come back and put on a heavier second coat, making sure you cover everything. Just be sure the temperature is above 40 degrees Fahrenheit so it can crystallize properly, and boom, you've just created a permanent internal waterproof barrier.
So, the $2 solutions, they were there all along, just hidden in plain sight, buried under billions of dollars in marketing and lobbying. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? If this knowledge was so effectively buried, what else is?